Good morning.
Good morning. Today's date is Thursday, August the 7th, 2025. The time is now 8:42. The Louisiana Committee on Parole is impaneled in Baton Rouge at headquarters. Serving today on the panel to my left is Ms. Stapleton, to my right is Mr. Prater. I'm Ms. Ledoux. Would the staff here at headquarters introduce yourselves? We're going to be hearing an offender there at Lafayette Correctional Center. Would the staff there please introduce yourself for the record?
Deputy Bedell.
Okay. No other staff is.
Yes, this is Corporal Joseph.
Okay, thank you.
Ma'am.
Sir, would you please state your name and your DOC number for the record?
BRIEN WINGS in 619-696.
Okay. Mr. Wing, you're before this panel today for allegations of violating your parole. Do you have a parole questionnaire in front of you that you recognize your signature?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the answers to that questionnaire indicate that you're not eligible for appointed counsel. Have you retained an attorney today?
No, ma'am.
Okay, we'll go ahead and continue. Sir, I'm going to be reading some allegations against you, and I need you to enter a plea of guilty, not guilty, or guilty with the statement.
Okay.
So rule number 2, you failed to report since September 2023. How do you plead?
I'm guilty with a statement. No, that was my fault. I had a lot of things going on, and I apologize for that.
Okay. There are 2 sections of rule number 3. The first one, you failed to provide proof of residence and failed to get permission for your change of address. How do you plead?
Not guilty. I had provided the residence, but I didn't know that they improved the move.
Yeah, you were denied once and you moved anyway. Okay. Then and you're pleading not guilty. And number 3B, you failed to remain in the jurisdiction of the state because you were arrested in Ouachita County, Texas on a parole warrant. How do you plead?
Guilty with a statement. That day I was my girl got pregnant. So we went to go move all the things from Wichita to Louisiana. So that's my fault too, man.
Number 6, you failed to provide proof of employment.
Oh, I had the proof of guilty. I had the proof of my phone, but we couldn't use our mobile devices. Well, I can't use my mobile device to show my bank statements and all that.
Guilty on that one. Number 9, you failed to agree to visit at your residence or place of employment because your whereabouts were unknown.
Oh, I plead guilty with a statement on that too. I gave them the residence, but they said that since they didn't approve it, I wasn't supposed to be there yet.
Right. Mr. Wing, you're a 4th class offender, is that correct?
A what?
4th class felony offender. You've been arrested and convicted 4 times for felonies, is that correct?
Oh, yeah, ma'am. This is the first time I ain't got no charges. I've been doing good.
Yeah, but you've been on supervision in the past, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And I finished everything completed successfully.
You signed the agreement of your conditions of parole, correct? I have a copy.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have proof that you had taxes by your agent? Do you have proof that you had permission to be in Texas?
No, ma'am. No, that was my fault. I just really want to move her to out here, but that's still my fault. I apologize for that.
All right. Ms. Stapleton or Mr. Prater?
No.
Y'all have any questions?
No.
Mr. Wing, by virtue of your admission and this report, my vote is going to be to revoke your parole today based on non-compliance. I've read, you had a very long report here and I've read it. And my vote is to revote. Ms. Stapleton,
I concur with, Ms. Ledoux.
Mr. Prater.
I concur.
Votes are today.
Because of violation of conditions 2, 3, 6, 9, and 11.
But today, sir, your parole has been revoked. Thank you very much.
I gotta do all 8 years. I gotta do all 8 years.
Not all of them. What,
It's on you. Yeah, let's see. Looked like there was somebody's name before yours, but I don't know. I could ask to unmute already. So you don't know first. That's okay. Because it looks like Lafayette was technically first, and then it would be us. What's it like?
Good morning. Mr. Wayne, you awake?
I'll see.
You hear us?
Okay, I can hear you. This is the Louisiana Committee on Parole. Serving on the panel today, to my left is Ms. Stapleton, to my right is Mr. Prater. I'm Ms. Ledoux. We are hearing someone at Jefferson Parish Correctional Center. Would the offender please introduce yourself with your name and your DOC number?
Wayne James, 721-360.
Mr. James, do you have in front of you a piece of paper that indicates it's a parole questionnaire?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the answers to that questionnaire indicate that you are not eligible for appointed counsel. Do you have an attorney that you
No,
hired?
ma'am. No,
Okay.
ma'am.
So we'll proceed. Mr. James, you're here because you have violated 2 conditions of your parole. And I'm going to ask Ms. Stapleton to read those out to you and get some information from you. We do have 2 people online who will be speaking in your support. And Ms. Stapleton, if you'll call on them at the appropriate time.
Okay. You ready? Okay, so we have the rule violation is number 4. You were arrested on 5/14/25 by the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office and charged on a warrant issued on August 2024 for felony domestic abuse, child with the presence of a child under the age of 13 presence. Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Okay, and it does state that the DA refused the charges. And then number 10, you failed to make a payment towards supervision fees, and you're currently $756 in arrears.
I'm guilty to that one.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna listen to the call-ins first to support. Okay, we've got Michelle James on Zoom, your mother that would like to speak.
Are they on Zoom with us?
Okay, we're trying to get things ready for that. Yeah. All right. That's you. Okay. Ms. James?
Yes, hello, how you doing?
Fine.
Can my son hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey,
What's
baby,
up, man?
I love
Yeah.
you so much.
I love you too.
Ma'am,
How you
you
doing?
talk to us. You're here
Yeah.
to statement about your son. I know you're happy to see him, but let's.
Yes. Okay, yes, I'm calling on his behalf. My son is such a good boy. That day, whatever happened, it was just a misunderstanding. They have so many people came to the house, for his job, dealing with his work. You know, he had a good job. He was at Coca-Cola. He cuts grass. He helped me. I had about a year ago, I caught a stroke. So he really helps me at home because I just lost his siblings, one of his brothers and one of his sisters. So he helps me, and I'm here by myself. And my son, he is so mean. He is such a good child. He works 2 jobs. I really didn't understand that day, but he haven't been getting into trouble. All he do is go to work, come home, and he's very concerned about me. But I'm making it. I'm doing it because he makes sure I'm straight. Um, some guy came here last week, as a matter of fact, for him to help him with his grass cutting. He do that too, also outside of his Coca-Cola and stuff jobs. I have no problem at all. I know I miss my son. I really, want him home. I just give him a warning or something. I don't know. I'm just so happy to see him, but I would rather see him here. I don't want to lose my son into the system, all kind of ways. And there's evil people inside that jail cell, that provokes him. You know what I'm saying? He might have an anger management problem. Okay, he could go to class, but it's not like that in jail. I don't want nobody to do anything to my son, to hurt my son. I want him to come home.
Okay, ma'am, thank you for your comments. We're gonna go down to Markeisha Griffin.
Good
Markeisha.
morning. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning. What do you have to say, Markeisha?
Well, that day that we had an incident, it was just a lot of emotions running high. We both wanted what was best, what we thought was best for the child that particular day. So it was just a misunderstanding that kind of went too far. We haven't had any problems. That was our first incident. We haven't had any problems prior to that or after that. He's an active father in his kid's life. So it was just that particular day, it was just a lot of emotions running high. And instead of taking a moment, everybody just kind of overreacted and it made everything escalate worse than what it should have been.
Let me ask you this. The police was called out there. Who called
Yes,
the police?
ma'am. I believe it was the neighbor that called the police.
Okay, and they said they'd been out there earlier.
Yeah, they had came earlier because we was outside. And I guess someone rode by and called the police. We was outside having a discussion. And then we moved, because like the apartment state, we have like a gate. Once we moved in the gate, someone else had called again.
Okay, well, it must have been more than a discussion for somebody to be concerned and call the police. All
It
right,
was
and
a
I
very
see,
heated discussion. It was very heated. We was loud.
well, I see where you could recant it to the DA's office. And in your recant, you said he tried to hurt me, but it was really the apartment door that was messed up. But then you said he tried to hurt me.
I said what?
You have in your statement that tried to hurt you. You also say emotions were running high and everything, and there were problems. But he did try to hurt you, and the apartment door was messed up.
Yeah, she asked me if I felt like I was going to be hurt. I told her that the door was the only thing that got hurt that night. The door was messed up.
Okay, well, anything else you'd like to say?
No, ma'am.
All right, well, thank you very much. Mr. James?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, on number 4, I've got the police report here. And it says that they were there earlier and that there was 2 separate occasions that on one occasion you began kicking the door on the apartment to try to make entry into the apartment. And that she said that she was going to kill, that if you call, you said that call him, I don't care, I will kill you. And then you fled the location into an unknown direction. And that was earlier that day. What do you have to say about that?
I never seen none of that, and I never really kicked the door or whatever. It was just really an argument, and her neighbors called, but I never kicked the door. created no criminal damage, and we really were just into it, but behind my daughter or whatever. Like I'm new to being a father, so I'm really getting the hang of being a father. So like this, like really my first incident I ever had with my child's mother. So it was really like a lot of the information was really falsified. I think it was like emotions got the best of us, you know. So they kind of falsified a lot of information, but I never really kicked the door. Never really did none of that. It really was just a big argument between me and my child's mother.
Okay, so then there was a second time they're called out.
Yeah, it really was the same. Like they trying to, it's like how y'all explained it, like it was two different incidents, but it really was just one big argument. Like we started outside, then we started arguing inside the gate. But it was two different people called. The first argument we was outside, so I think a car passed and seen us. I kind of saw when a car passed and the lady stopped and looked and said something, so I kind of know that person called the police. Then we start arguing inside the gate, but it really was just one big argument. It wasn't like two different separate arguments. It was the same argument, just two different calls. Like I guess they called again because we were still arguing, but you know, me and my child's mother never really got into it like that. Only that day, but we never got into it after and then like that.
Okay,
I've
well,
been
it has a police report that Markeisha suffered a minor abrasion on the right side of her chest, but refused medical treatment.
Yeah, and then again, I don't really know nothing about none of that because I never really put my hands on her. It was a lot of the information was falsified. I don't know why, but I guess it was like emotions or whatever. But I never really like I've been home like a whole year on parole. I never got in trouble. I never did anything to get myself in trouble. Just the first incident, and the charges have been refused. But, you know, like I don't really be in trouble and that like that. I really just work. And this was just an incident with me and my child's mother got into an argument. Like
Yes, please, Jake.
You were paroled May of 24
yes, ma'am.
and you were detained in August.
Oh no. The charge happened in August. Like I stayed home a full year. Like I came home May 2024 and I didn't go to jail until May 2025. This happened in August, but I didn't go to jail in August. Like
Okay.
I actually didn't even know the police was getting called. Like I left and went to work. I just happened to get pulled over leaving work, leaving my job, Coca-Cola, and then when they pulled me over, they ran my name and told me that I had a warrant for domestic violence. But I never even knew the police got called on me.
Okay, I had a wrong date there. Thank you.
Like I've been home like a whole year before.
Okay, well, let's go to number 10. You failed to make payments toward supervision fees, and you're currently $768 in arrears. And you said you were working at Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
So how did that happen?
Okay, like all right, you know I came home in May, so I just landed my Coca-Cola job. I only been working at Coca-Cola for like I'm gonna say 4 or 5 months. Like I ran through a lot of jobs. Like for me to land that good job at Coca-Cola, like I ran through like 6 jobs because no jobs was paying me enough. And you know, I'm fresh home from jail and I live with my mother and I got 2 kids, so I'm new to being a father. So I really was like trying to get myself together as a man, and really like I kind of forgot about the payments. I didn't really forget about them, but I was trying to just pay one big lump sum of money. You know, I had so much stuff on my plate, so I really couldn't really act up upon the payments. But I can catch up with those payments. Like if I was to be released, like the $700, I can probably catch back up with that within like 2 or 3 weeks. But I really had a lot on my plate because I came home to 2 kids. Before I went to jail, I didn't have no
That would be a
kids.
lot of people that could say something like that. Does anybody have any other questions?
Yes, ma'am. I do.
Okay.
Earlier in the day, the law enforcement was called to the residence in question, and you gave them a false name and tried to hide your ID on the trunk.
I don't recall that.
Do what?
I don't recall that, sir.
You don't have to. It's in the police report, the name that you gave and the fact that you hid your your ID in the trunk of a neighbor's car, or you attempted to. What's the deal with that?
I don't recall it. I don't know if that's part of a falsified police report, but I wasn't charged a book with that charge. I only was charged with domestic
Time out.
violence.
It doesn't matter what you were charged with to me.
Uh,
It matters if you're engaged in unlawful conduct.
oh yes, sir. I understand what you're saying, but I feel like that's like that's part of the falsified. I think that's falsified, sir. Like I don't recall doing that.
Okay, all right, that's all I.
Okay, well, I'll read the same thing. You provided deputies with a false ID. And it's in the police report. They also said that they saw minor abrasions on the right side of her chest, but she refused medical treatment. They'd been out there twice that day. So that's all part of the police report, which is an affidavit. Are we ready to vote?
Yeah.
Let me ask one question. You're a third class offender, is that correct? This is your third felony offense?
Yeah, this one didn't get this one. This charge has been refused.
I know, but you were a third felony offender.
Oh yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Been on supervision previously?
You talking about the year that I was home before getting arrested?
Have you been on supervision before? Probation or supervision?
I don't think I recall. Like I think every time I went to jail, I kind of went to DOC. Like.
Okay, thank you. We're prepared.
Okay, my vote today, well, y'all had a heated argument to the point that other people called law enforcement. So they must have been frightened for the safety of the mother and the child. So that's in the police report. And then Markeisha said that's exactly what happened, and you did too. So I'm going to revoke you today, and this is my reason. As to condition number 4, probable cause was found based upon the fact of the arrest report and the observations by the police officer that corroborated the initial statements made by the victim. As to condition number 10, probable cause was found due to the subject's admission to not making payments and Cajun printout showing no payment was made in the arrears of $756.
Mr. Prater?
I concur.
My vote is to revoke, but I hope you get some anger management help while you're in prison, okay? Today your parole has been revoked. That concludes our business there at Jefferson. It's 9/11.
That was it.
And it's changed live. Like when the woman came on, it showed her on it. Mhm. Yeah, that's right. Glad to know you didn't need to get a hold to him, huh? Well, you don't have to have it. You think he's worried about that phone coming up missing? No. Who you got to Mm-hmm.
Good morning. The
Good morning.
The Louisiana Committee on Parole is impaneled in Baton Rouge at headquarters. On my left is Ms. Stapleton, to my right is Mr. Prater. It's 9:21 and we're hearing an offender at AVOYELLES correction and or Marksville. And sir, if you would please state your name and your DSC number for the record.
David Dauzat, 589-658.
Okay, Mr. Dauzat, you're going to be answering some questions by this panel, but before you do, I want to make sure you have a questionnaire in front of you that indicates your signature. It's a parole questionnaire. Do you see that?
No, ma'am. And she's pulling it up.
It should be on the screen here in just one moment.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the answers to that is the Supreme Court guidelines that you are not eligible for appointed counsel. However, I do see that you have Mr. Matthew Foster, who is your attorney, and he will be able to assist you and answer questions at the appropriate time. We also have a Crystal Green, your ex-fiance, here to speak in support. I'm going to turn the questioning over to Ms. Stapleton. She's going to ask you some questions and we'll begin.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, good morning, sir.
Morning.
Oh, we have the revocation decision for the pre-hearing in front. So the rule violation is number 4. On or about April the 25th, 2025, you were arrested by the AVOYELLES Parish Sheriff's Office for the offense of simple battery of persons with infirmities, simple battery, where you were booked into the AVOYELLES Parish Jail and you were later released on bond on June 23rd, 2025. You voluntarily turned himself in to probation and parole officers at the AVOYELLES Parish Jail. And you have pending charges are set for trial on 8/28/2025. What do you plead to for that violation?
Not guilty.
Not guilty. Okay, so is it at this time that we ask his attorney to speak for? Okay, yes, sir, you can go ahead and speak for your client. Mr. Foster?
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate the opportunity to be heard on behalf of my client this morning. I'll be honest, ma'am, I don't have a lot of facts of this case. I've requested discovery 2 times so far, and I have yet to receive discovery, so I'm limited on facts other than what my client and his ex-fiance have spoken to me about. My understanding is there was an altercation that allegedly happened at the house, and but the way the report was written doesn't really coincide with what I was told. And like I said, both of these charges are misdemeanors. From what I understand, he hasn't had any other infractions to this point. So we were requesting that he not be revoked at this time.
Well, I read that it's set for trial on 8/28/25.
Yes, ma'am. And I represent him on that matter on that date. And I'll be honest, I'm trying to get the charges dismissed. I just, without discovery, I haven't been able to do that as of yet. But I am in talks with the DA's office.
So is this something you would want to continue on until after the trial?
And we might have to, ma'am, to be able to do it, correctly. Like I said, I wish I had the whole file in front of me at this time, but I don't. So I'm kind of flying blind, if so to speak.
Okay, can we go to executive session, please?
Let's listen to the next, the next supporter before we do.
All right, well, we're gonna hear Crystal Green right now and see what she has to say.
Thank you so much.
Welcome, sir. Ms. Green?
Yes, ma'am.
What would you like to say about the case today?
On or about the day of the events, there was an altercation between David and I, and my father got involved in it, and he went to swinging on DJ, but DJ never put his hands on my father. That was never an incident to where DJ has hit my father at all. There was some choice words that was said, and the only thing DJ did was try to protect his son that was sitting in the back seat because my dad turned around in the vehicle and was literally trying to swing on DJ. And I jumped between them to keep my father from hitting DJ or the baby. I jumped between them, and I'm the one that put the cuts on my dad behind the ear and on the neck because I'm the one that hit hands. I'm the one that threw hands. My father, not Jay.
Did you have the police any of this? It's not in the police
Yes,
report.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, I did. And my father had a left eye injury prior to the fight to where his diabetes is eating up his eyes and stuff. And he was out mowing and got something in his eye. He couldn't even go to work with Mr. David and him that day. He had to miss work and stuff. He wore sunglasses and stuff like that. So, and this was like a week prior to the altercation that my father had the eye injury.
We have a request to go into executive session. If we have a second. Okay, I'll second.
Steve Spurrier,
Yes.
Dear Lou,
Yes.
Carolyn State.
Yes.
What are they doing?
Probably
Okay, we are returning from executive session. And, the panel, is prepared to vote. Ms. Stapleton?
Today I'm gonna vote for continuance. You have pending charges set for trial on 8/28/25, and so, we're gonna have to see what the determination of the trial is.
Well, you don't like that, Mr. Dauzat?
I mean, I thought with all my witnesses I'd be all right, you know, but obviously that don't matter.
Well, this is to your advantage, I guarantee you, okay?
I done lost my son for being in jail for nothing.
I concur. I think I think justice will be better served with a continuance, and I'm sorry that you're inconvenienced to have to sit there until the trial comes up. But I think with your attorney pushing for the trial or a resolution of these charges is going to be the best thing. And then we will consider. That's not saying we're gonna let you out if you are found innocent or if the charges are dismissed. We'll have to ponder what happens then. So we're not guaranteeing you'll get out then because we want to hear the evidence, maybe a different panel. And so you need our vote, or at least my vote. The chairman has not voted. My vote is that you stay right where you are until this matter is resolved in the court of law.
All right. So
That-
even though I'm not found guilty,
I'm voting. So at this point, my vote is also to deny. The time is now 9:32 and this hearing is concluded. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
If we don't let you, they're gonna do only. Oh, it is. They got pizza. Huh? The pizza at the bottom. It just means something. Mean the day. You better sit up straight there. I'll put some Jackson up there right here. It is all the sequel. They need to open these doors up so they can circulate the air. Shit. Good morning. It's 9:41, and the Louisiana Committee on Parole is impaneled at Baton Rouge. On my left is Ms. Stapleton. To my right, Mr. Prater. I'm Ms. Ledoux. We are at Orleans Justice Center. And who do we have before us, sir? Could you introduce yourself with your name and your DOC number? I believe you're still on mute.
Good morning. My name John Lindsey, DOC number 533221.
Okay, Mr. Lindsey, you're before this panel for to address alleged violations of your condition of parole. Do you have a parole questionnaire in front of you that you recognize your signature?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so you are not eligible for appointed counsel. Do you have a hired attorney today?
No, ma'am.
Okay. We have 3 people who will be speaking in support of you at the appropriate time. Chandra Jackson, your mother, Chantal Humble, the case manager for the Urban League of Louisiana, and Jessica Brown, the victim in this case. I'm going to be turning this over to Ms. Stapleton. Mr. Prater. He's going to read out the allegations, and you're going to enter a plea, and then he'll conduct the interview.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good morning. Good morning.
How you doing, sir?
We'll go over this pretty quickly. You're accused of violating condition number 4 in the fact that you were arrested for domestic abuse, child endangerment, and domestic abuse battery of a pregnant woman on April the 29th of 2025. First off, is that true that you were arrested?
Yes, sir. I was arrested, sir.
Okay, and I see that the charges were refused by the district attorney. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's our job to determine if it really happened, because sometimes the judge will, or the DA will refuse things or put you in a program or do different things. So just the fact that they were refused doesn't necessarily let you off the hook, okay? So
Yes,
we need
I
to talk,
understand.
we need to talk about that a little bit. And I have read the lady's account, and so we'll get into all that. I want to hear from the folks that are going to be speaking for you in just a minute before we get into some serious questions. You're also accused of violating condition number 10. Do you know how much you owe?
Yes, sir.
How much do you owe, you think?
I owe this $700.30, which was paid. I paid the restitution, my supervision fee already. Which is supposed to, I think this by this being a new month, I think it's about $63 right now, sir, because it's been paid already.
Okay. Yeah, there was some question about exactly what it was. I just wondered. I was going to let you try to see if you want to give us more. That's fine too. If you want to give the state more, whatever. Okay, we want to hear from the folks that are in support of you not being revoked. Right now, we want to hear from your mom, Shonda Jackson, please. Is the mother, Miss Jackson? Would you tell us what you think about your son getting out in the revocation? You're on mute, ma'am.
Right there. Yes, sir. How you doing? Good morning.
Morning.
I thank you. I said good morning. I said I think he need to come home. He do need to come home. He was doing good. He had a job when he was out here. He was going to school, and he got all his certificates and everything. So he wasn't no bad boy at all.
Okay.
So he got his job still waiting for him. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for that. We appreciate that very much.
Okay. Thank you.
You're a good mom. Is Miss Humble, Shantae Humble, case manager for Urban League. Hi there, good morning.
Great morning, everyone.
Tell us what you got to say about this fella.
I met John last year. Last year, he came into our re-entry program. John exemplifies great leadership. John entered into our pre-apprenticeship construction program, where John became a leader. John received numerous certificates. I sent you all a letter showing you all the certificates that he received, and he's also part of the union, part of the local union. John was hired by the Henley Group, who's asking me now for John. They want John back on their team. It's a construction company, local construction company. Love his work. John just I'm not sure exactly what happened. The John that I met, the John that I know, we use John to speak to our incoming classes. So we use John to exemplifies everything that he's learned, to show the guys that it is, a new way out here. John had 2 jobs, not only one, but he had 2.
All right. Well, thank you for your input. Appreciate you taking your time, and I know he does. All right, we'll move on now to Jessica Brown. And Jessica Brown is the one that reported this to begin with. Would you tell us what's on your mind?
Hi, how you doing, sir? It was basically, it happened 2 years ago. I was pregnant at the time. I was going through postpartum. I was going through a lot at that time. We have a son together. He's about to make 2 next month. John is really a good person. I think it was all a misunderstanding, and I blame myself for it. It was a lot going on at that time when I was pregnant. He never made me feel like I needed to be unsafe. It was just a lot, Your Honor. I'm sorry for the misinconvenience. I did write a letter to the board. I don't know if you've seen the letter already.
Got the letter.
It was a misunderstanding. Like I told the DA office, and I explained to the prosecutor, I explained it to the judge. It was a misunderstanding. It didn't need to go that far. It was a lot going on. While I was pregnant with his son, it was a lot. It was a lot.
Okay. Thank you. We appreciate that. Appreciate you taking the time to be with us. Don't appreciate you causing all this, but we appreciate you being on this morning. Okay. Let's go back to Mr. Lindsey. Mr. Lindsey, you've been on parole for a while now. Have you ever been revoked on any parole before?
No, sir. Never been revoked.
Okay. I see where everything that the witnesses said on your behalf appears to be accurate in looking at your report from your parole officer. Doesn't seem like you're not hiding, and you're not hard to find, and you abide by all the conditions, and says Jessica even told the police that she didn't black out and she didn't have trouble breathing at the time. So it wasn't like it was any noticeable injuries. All right, I don't have any other questions. You got anything you want to say?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
I was doing good, like far as I was in, Urban League, just when I was in Urban League, that's where I got all my certificates, because I said that, when I get home, just like I told y'all what I was gonna do, when I made parole, the first time when I made parole, and everything what I told y'all that I was gonna do, I came home and did exactly the same thing what I told y'all I was gonna do the first time. Only thing I didn't accomplish that I say I was gonna do is get my CDLs and get into trucking school, which is Jessica. Some people had told her through the email that that they was waiting in the that I was in line for to get my CDL, to get in the CDL school. So that's really what I wanted to accomplish, but I had got into Urban League and got a lot of certificates and got certificates, and they had just like Henley Construction Group came after I graduated from out the class. Henley Construction Group had came and entered me in. For my last big time being incarcerated, what I learned from, learned a lot from, because that was basically the best thing that ever could have happened to me, during the time like when I couldn't read and all that, and I learned and I got my education.
I think we got a flavor of the kind of fellow you are and what you're trying to be. I'm prepared to vote.
I have to ask a question. Are you still involved with Miss Brown?
During my child, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so wait, let me break that question down. You have a child with Miss Brown. You're co-parenting?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, very much.
Living with her and romantically involved with Miss Brown?
No, ma'am. No living.
Okay. And you're able to co-parent without having bad problems between you?
Yes, ma'am. Very much. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
you are supporting your child and.
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Very much.
All right. I have no further questions. Ms. Stapleton, do you have any questions?
Well, my advice to you is, something like this, you see that it would cost you to go back to jail.
Yes,
for
ma'am.
another year.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
I think Ms. Ledoux was alluding to the fact that y'all don't have any business living together, being together. You can have her drop the child off at your mother's house for you to see the child, things like that, because she accused you of some very serious things.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
If the panel's prepared to vote, Mr. Prater, you'll go
Yes.
first.
Okay, my vote is that you not be revoked.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that, sir.
Continue on supervision. Ms. Stapleton?
I concur with Mr. Prater that you not be revoked and that you continue on
Thank you,
supervision.
ma'am.
Mr. Lindsey, I concur. So you continue to do the right things, but I'm going to also echo that you should not have any involvement with Ms. Brown past the co-parenting.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You have not been revoked today. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Right, that's a still talking, that's our talk. Yeah. Still talking, we'll talk with.
Okay. The Louisiana Committee on Parole is impaneled in Baton Rouge at headquarters. On my left is Ms. Stapleton. To my right is Mr. Prater on the stew. We are at Orleans Parish Prison. Who do we have in front of us today?
I can't, did she ask who I was?
Yes.
Michael
Your
Dickerson,
name and your DOC number.
129600, Michael Dickerson.
Okay, Mr. Dickerson. You're before this panel because you have been charged with violating the conditions of your parole. Do you have a piece of paper in front of you that's a parole questionnaire that indicates your signature? Yes, that's correct. And that is your signature. The answers to that question indicate that you're not eligible for appointed counsel. Do you have an attorney?
She's there. I don't need one. I'm gonna represent myself.
Okay, great. So, Mr. Dickerson, I'm going to ask Ms. Stapleton to ask you some questions. And
Okay. First of all, this paper, I'm not sure what probable cause was found.
okay, we'll go over that. Okay.
Right.
Ms. Stapleton will take over.
Okay, Mr. Dickerson, it shows that you were in violation of rule number 8. You have not provided proof that you have enrolled and attended sex offender treatment. And rule number 10, you are currently $3,087 in arrears. Oh, well, how do you plead on the first one? I'm sorry, go ahead and plead guilty, not guilty, and lady, you can give me a statement.
Not guilty, and I'm definitely gonna give a statement, yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, and then number 10, you are currently $3,087 in arrear of your supervision fees. The last payment was on 6/25/21. Guilty, not guilty?
I've been unable to work, disabled. I had to quit working.
Okay, so are you on disability?
I'm fighting for it.
Okay, you're trying to get it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I have that you attended sex offender class at some point in the past.
Twice I voluntarily enrolled in prison.
Huh?
Enrolled in prison, and then in the Washington Parish District, I was going twice a month.
Okay, well, can you explain what's going on with number 8 now that you
Yes, I can. And like I said, I have volunteered. Well, I know what it says. And he didn't put probable cause, but the hearing officer for probable cause used the contract, the sex offender contract, the standard form. And if you notice, it's an adult victim. And my parole officer relied on section 3, the second sentence, where it says that if on parole and per departmental policy and the direction of the parole board, that you'd be required to do the thing. Now, my statement is this: that is true that I didn't enroll, but I tried. So from February the 20th, I received a photocopy of a piece of paper that said I had to cash app $175. My parole officer said, or he would do the other part of his job he didn't like doing. And I was like, I'll try to borrow the money. And for 4 months, I tried to borrow the money. Even spoke to some detectives at the New Orleans Police Department about it, that I was being pressured to cash app this money. And I contacted the number on the place from here, and there's a recorded phone call. And the lady told me that they do counseling for people sent by the courts, and that I had to pay the money in full, or that I couldn't even give them my name. And so I hung up. I mean, I'm indigent. That's what I'm guilty of. But I tried to borrow the money from my family for 5 months until the end of May. In fact, when I was arrested at the NOPD, I was at my compliance meeting, trying to explain to the detective that did my case that I'm having trouble. I'm trying to get this money so that I don't get locked up. He even called my parole officer, and he had to hang up on him because he started yelling something about the legislature and the new law. But that's not true. I've taken sex offender class in prison. I received good time for it. Back when they first started, I believe it was Dr. Susan Tucker at Allen Correctional Center. And
It
then,
says that you took sex offender treatment class in 2010.
yeah, that was in Washington Parish.
Okay.
My parole officer was Timothy Phelps, and I tried to get a hold of him for him to testify, but I found out he had passed away in 2019. So what Agent Wilder, the new parole officer, and I told him over and over after I realized at the preliminary hearing that Section 3 didn't even apply to me at all. At first, it says, according to those people on probation, Article 895, that's probation. I've never been on probation for a sex offense. So he said, no, keep reading. And I'm glad I kept reading because I found the law that the departmental policy is based upon. And the victim is a minor. In my case, it was a 21-year-old girlfriend. I was 19 years old. I'm 55 now. I mean, and I've been on the street for 5 years, and all of a sudden this was a problem. And I've never been convicted twice for any sex offense, which is the next requirement to qualify per the departmental policies. And furthermore, the third one, which would be subsection G, I would have to be in prison in order to receive the treatment. And a lot of this is the progesterone acetate. I'm not looking to get castrated. I don't have much longer to live anyway. But I think that the parole officer misunderstood because he seen the word parole. But it says right here, I mean, the policy, it is the secretary's policy that certain convicted sex offenders, as specifically defined in subsections E, F, G, and H, shall participate in appropriate sex offender treatment plans pursuant to the provisions of the regulation and the statutory requirements as stated therein. And we'll start with E. The victim was 21 years old. She was not 12 years old or younger. And I wasn't convicted 2 or more times. There was one conviction, a 21-year-old girlfriend, docket number 58341 in Lafayette Parish.
Forcible rape and aggravated oral sexual battery.
That's right, docket 58341. That's one conviction. Now, I go to F, and that's the one dealing with the people that are committed to the custody of the Department of Corrections, and which I am, being on parole, but further, it states that and housed in a state correctional facility where they would be required to receive the treatment until they are released on parole or otherwise.
Well, I have here that you were instructed to enroll in a sex offender treatment or get a letter from a psychiatrist stating that Michael Dickerson did not require treatment. Agent Wilder presented the record requirement showing Michael Dickerson refused sexual offender treatment while serving his sentence in DOC. Because Michael Dickerson did not enroll in sex offender treatment or provide proof of sex offender treatment, Agent Wilder requested a warrant for his arrest.
He didn't investigate.
Does anybody else have any questions?
Well, Mr. Dickerson, did you ever receive from the parole board a order to do sex offender treatment?
No.
Okay.
The only thing I got was from the parole officer that had section 3 on the standard form, but per departmental policy, none of it pertained to me. I was like, I guess, one of the rare ones that didn't fall under any of the qualifications. But twice I volunteered, and I tried to take it.
Okay.
But they told me I couldn't until I paid $175 cash out.
I understand. Let me ask you another question.
Okay.
There are resources for indigent individuals. Can you get a psychiatric statement saying that you do not need that treatment? Why did you not go down that road?
Well, I just found this out after, like I said, he told me to keep reading, and I'm glad I did, because I noticed that Article 5.8 under subsection E, pertaining to revised statute 538, somebody sentenced under that, they do have a thing about indigent people, that the parole officer shall assist him by referring him to the Department of Health and Hospitals. Now, the parole officer did. I brought it up at the preliminary hearing, and he did say that, yes, he was supposed to do that, but he had forgot.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Can you go to a psychiatrist and get a waiver for your sex offender treatment?
Ma'am, I think I can have that by Monday.
Okay.
But I would have to go to my doctor at.
Okay. Mr. Prater, do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Ms. Stapleton?
I don't have any, but I mean, I know that you're in arrears, but I also know that you're homeless.
Is that by choice?
Well, I have a wealthy family, and that came into question with my parole officers. And even the detectives, they asked me, we understand that your sister's a doctor and they got this big old house down here and all this. And like, they're embarrassed by me. That's what I think. They have their family. But speaking to my mom, I did tell her that I have a friend in their neighborhood that has said I can stay with him, but I think that I'd probably have to go help him clean the place up for inspection before, but I can stay with my mother. If she lives with my sister, that's another reason I don't burden them. And, that's their house.
Okay, well, let me tell you, you're on supervision according to your master prison record today, September of 2029. So you need to stay in compliance until then. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And so it's easier if you have some stability. Housing. Okay, I'm prepared to vote.
And just for the record, I've been commended by the NOPD over there. They say that I am the only person that has done every single thing I was supposed to do.
Okay,
I even managed.
We're prepared to vote at this time. Ready?
I would put a stipulation that we get the terms of meeting.
Okay. Today I'm not going to revoke you, but the stipulation is that you do get a letter from a psychiatrist saying that you do not need sex offender treatment. You have to provide proof. And then the homelessness, that needs to be corrected. There's shelters, there's different things like that that you can go to. You have to not be homeless, and you have to start paying these fees.
You're muted.
Uh-oh, you're muted.
Come out.
We can't hear you.
So
I was addressing the homeless. I say in appreciation for you not revoking me, that I will self-impose a deadline 2 weeks to have a permanent address.
that's fine with us.
All right,
Sooner the
so,
better.
right. And stay in touch with your agent. And so what are your conditions? Repeat it back to me with that I said.
Oh, to take care of the homelessness and
weeks. In 2 weeks, you'll have a residence.
2 weeks.
Okay, what was the other one?
Uh, I'm not sure.
Okay, well,
Your
write it
psychiatric
down.
Oh, yeah,
evaluation.
the letter. Yes, the letter.
Yes,
All right.
two things, and it's gonna be put on here, that these are, the conditions, special conditions.
Okay, and the letter.
You get to your agent.
Okay, all right.
Mr. Prater,
My vote is to revoke. I think he chooses to be homeless. He chooses not to get the
Wait, no, it wasn't really.
said, please. He chooses not to get the treatment that he was ordered to get. He's relying on a lot of little paragraphs this and paragraph that, and I don't buy any of that. My vote is to revoke.
my vote today is do not revoke with condition that you have psych evaluation that says that you do not have to have sex offender treatment and that you address your housing issue. Today, 2-1, you're not revoked and you have some special conditions. And that concludes our business with you, Mr. Dickerson. Good morning, Mr. Smith.
Good morning.
The Louisiana Committee on Parole has been handled at headquarters in Baton Rouge. On my left is Ms. Stapleton. To my right is Mr. Prater. I'm Ms. Ledoux. You're before this panel for a parole violation. Do you have an appointed attorney? A retained attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and that's Mr. Bello, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Smith, it was alleged that you violated rule number 4 and that you had a domestic abuse battery arrest. That charge was subsequently refused by the district attorney's office. The panel has reviewed your file, and how do you plead on that?
Not guilty.
Okay. Based on my review of your file, we have no victim who's been identified, can be found at this time. The charges have been refused. I believe we're ready to vote on this case. My vote is going to be to recall the warrant and terminate your supervision. Mr. Prater.
I concur, do not revoke for sure, and I concur with it, with termination of your supervision. If that's under a purview.
And Ms. Stapleton.
I concur with my colleagues, to recall the warrant and, terminate your supervision.
So today you have not been revoked and your supervision is, your time is completed. Okay.
Thank you.
Just for clarity, terminating the supervision, are we saying he will no longer be reporting to Mr. August? Is that what we're saying?
That's correct. He's now no longer under supervision.
And he is to be released. I guess when do you provide notice to the Orleans Justice Center so that he can be released?
We'll be signing the paper today. I don't know when they'll get it, but we'll sign it today.
Well, certainly we thank you all for your time and your thoughtfulness with this matter, and we appreciate you all completely.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you going home? Yours is the first.
Good morning. Are you on mute?
Yes, ma'am. I'm not in the mood.
Um, the panel today in Baton Rouge, to my left is Ms. Stapleton, to my right is Mr. Prater, I'm Ms. Ledoux. Why don't you introduce yourself with your name and your DOC number?
Name Kevin Martins, DOC number 700-839.
Mr. Martin, do you have a paper in front of you that indicate that you see your signature? Parole revocation questionnaire, that's correct. The answers to that questionnaire indicate that you are not eligible for appointed counsel. And you do not have an attorney that I see. Mr. Martin, I'm going to ask Mr. Prater to read out your parole violations and ask you some questions about those, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning. How are you doing?
All right.
Okay, we got certain conditions that you agree to before you get out of jail and when you get on to parole. In these conditions, you sign a piece of paper, and I assume you got that in front of you. If you signed a piece of paper, did you go over there?
I did.
I was looking at my notes. Okay, thank you. Okay, and so that piece of paper, it's got rule 1, 2, 4, 6, and 10. That's what the conditions that we're talking about that you have violated, okay, or suspected of violating. Okay, the first one is that you were released in October of 24, and you never did report until you were arrested in May of 25. You never did report to probation and parole. How do you plead on that?
Not guilty.
You got anything to say about it?
Yes,
You
sir.
can get a statement if you'd like. Go ahead, tell me what about that. Why didn't you report?
Up on my release from Volunteers of America on 10/10/2024, which was a Thursday at 6 o'clock that morning. I called the number
Okay,
that I was
look back
given.
up. Could you
I
look,
called the number that I was given. I had wrote it down. I called the number that I was given, and I would request time for a meeting to come in. I was told I may come in at around 11 a.m. I came in and reported to probation parole. I was unaware of having two separate officers to report to. I was in prison for 5 years. I'm trying to be. I have 6 kids. I'm trying to be in their life. Been doing my best to stay out of trouble. So I may continue. Please believe when I state that if I knew I was to report to 2 different places, I would have allowed me a chance so I could prove my work. Like basically, I had 2 different probation. I ain't new, but I reported. I had just came home from federal. I reported to probation and parole that the same day I came home. I got released at 6 a.m. I reported, but not knowing I had 2 different officers. So when I reported, I thought basically I reported to my officer, but basically I never did. I ain't knew because it was 2 different officers. But upon my release, I did report to probation and parole.
okay, let me ask you, you're saying 2 different officers. Was one a federal and one a local or a state?
Yeah, but I didn't know the difference. I just was told when I got released, I just was told to report to
Okay.
the address
So
they gave me.
you're on federal parole right now also, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How often do you report to them?
I report to them like once a month. Once a month. Since I've been home, I've been reporting to my probation.
Okay, once a month you report to. Keep in mind, we got all the records here.
Yeah, yes, sir. Like when I first came home from doing my sentence, I didn't even have a probation officer. They didn't contact me. They didn't contact me, and like they told me they'll contact me when they'll permit me to one. But they ain't contact me in like 2 months, and I contact them.
I contact probation and parole and ask, well, nobody ever contacted me yet, so I was trying to figure out, well, who do I talk to, or what should I do? And she was just like, well, you could just come in, on this date. And I went in, and I took took a drug test. But I never knew I had two separate probation officers.
All right, let's move on. Okay. Let's look at rule number 4, which talks about avoiding any kind of criminal conduct or people that are criminals or guns and things like that. So you're charged in May of 2025. You were charged with battery on a dating partner, I believe is what the actual charge is. And were you guilty? Did you get arrested for that? Let me ask that first. Not are you guilty of having done it, but did you get arrested?
I got arrested for that. I got arrested for having a parole hold, of having a U.S. Marshal hold.
A U.S. Marshal's hold?
It was like a U.S. Marshal detainer. They say they arrested me for that, but I think I basically was arrested for the misdemeanor that I had caught, the new charge, basically. That's what I think I was really arrested for.
That's what you were arrested for, and when they ran your records, they found these other problems.
Yes, sir.
So that's what it was. You were arrested because that complaint that was filed against your battery of a dating partner. Has that case been resolved?
Yeah, it's been refused. It's been refused.
Okay. According to the police report, the lady had a busted lip, a swollen jaw, and an eyewitness, the aunt, witnessed that. So whether the case was refused or not, we still have to deal with what happened. Did you hit that woman?
No, sir. I promise you. The woman, she 8 months pregnant. She was 8 months pregnant at the time. We just had a newborn baby that I never even got a chance to see. So I promise you, if I were to put my hands on her, it would have been known. I promise you, I did not put my hands on her. It was I asked him for camera footage or for pictures because I know it was a lie. It was a lie, so I asked for the pictures for the camera footage and nothing, but they ain't give me none of that. I ain't even get the police report.
Okay. So the aunt's lying and the lady's lying, and she didn't have a busted lip or a swollen jaw. Is that your statement?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. And also you failed to provide proof of employment. Are you working anywhere?
I was working at Chicken. I told my parole officer I was working at Chicken and Daiquiri. At September, I start for the union, school for the union, I'm gonna be at the union to get a trade or whatever. But it starts September like the beginning of September. But I never got the opportunity to go there. But as far as having a job, I had a job. I was working on Canal Street at Chicken and Daiquiri.
Okay. Let's see, how much money do you owe? Let's move on to number 10. How much money do you owe for your probation fees?
I never got a amount, so I really don't know.
Okay, well, my amount shows $1,010, and Cajun shows a different amount, so I'm not sure. So I'm gonna leave number 10 alone because I don't want to put that on the list of violations, but that's all the questions I've got. Have you ever been on parole before?
Like I never really got a chance to be on parole. I've been on parole since 2019, which is like I had 8 years parole. I did 2 years. I served 2 years. I got a year good time completing classes. My end of my parole date supposed to be January 2025. Like they got me like it's going, like it's over. Like I'm supposed to be off of parole. That's I never knew I was still on parole.
Okay, you didn't know you were on parole, and then you didn't know you was off parole, so.
Yeah, but I was just told when I came home from prison, I was told to report to probation at on Parker Street, and I reported within the same day. I reported the same day. So my day I got released, I reported the same day.
I don't have any questions.
Ms. Stapleton?
I don't have any questions.
I don't think I have any questions either. Mr. Prater?
Okay. Mr. Martin, it's kind of, it's hard to believe that everybody's got everything so wrong and you got it so right. So
No.
my vote today is
No,
that
sir.
your parole be revoked because of violations of 1, 2, 4, and 6.
Ms. Stapleton?
I concur with, Mr. Prater, violations of Rule 1, 2, 4, and 6, that you should be revoked.
And my vote is to revoke as well. So, sir, you have been revoked. The time is 11:05, and that concludes our business at Arlene's. Thank you very much for the staff there. Good morning. The Louisiana Committee on Parole is impaneled at headquarters in Baton Rouge. Today on the panel to my left is Ms. Stapleton, to my right is Mr. Prater and Ms. Ledoux. We're currently at Rayburn Correctional Center for a parole hearing. Sir, would you introduce your name? Let me ask, sorry, staff, would you introduce yourselves there?
Okay, I'm Assistant Warden Josh Miley.
Kristen
Herbert Records. Tracy Taylor, Classifications.
Right. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all's support today. We're going to be hearing the only offender you have there for us. Sir, could you please introduce yourself with your name and your GSC number?
Jacob Commodel, 501988.
Okay. Mr. Commodel, you're before this panel as a first felony offender, currently serving a 25-year sentence for forcible rape. You had a parole eligibility date coming up October 29th, 2025. You are not eligible for good time release, and you have a full term date of 7/29/2029. Does that sound correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We'd like to start out this time together with asking you to tell this panel what you did to put yourself in prison and what you have done to convince us that it's time for an early release.
At the age of 18, I took sexual advantage of a 9-year-old boy. It's not the proudest moment of my life. It was very wrong. And so far in prison, I have taken the sex offender class, all 5 phases, and the tutoring phase at the end. I have taken VOTEC schooling to acquire work skills.
Okay. Today, I just want to let you know that we do have Louise Keller, not wishing to speak, but here in support on Zoom. So you do have some.
I don't know who she is, ma'am.
Okay. That's cousin. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and ask Mr. Prater to begin some questions, if you don't mind.
Okay, what kind of fella has he been while he's been in jail?
Jacob arrived here at RCC on 2/19/2018. This is his first time coming up for parole. He has one RVR since his arrival here. He's had a total of 10 RVRs since his incarceration in 2008. He's not a real disciplinary problem. He currently is assigned as a gym orderly and helps out in there. And he doesn't really have a residence plan at this time. I spoke with him yesterday.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. Mr. Commodelle, is that right? Commodelle?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We're here to talk about, and what we're considering letting you out early on a forceful rape charge where you got a 25-year sentence in 2005. And you didn't mention anything about you said a 9-year-old. According to the police reports, it's a 6 and a 7-year-old that were involved in this. Does that sound more accurate?
No, sir. It was a 9-year-old.
Okay, just one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You pled guilty to a reduced charge of forcible rape, but they dropped aggravated rape 2 counts, oral sexual battery, indecent behavior with a juvenile, and a sexual battery, and allowed you to plead to a forcible rape. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And excuse me, go ahead.
To avoid life.
To avoid life. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You've been through, you didn't talk about it, but you got a lot of courses and programs and certificates. So you've done a lot of training, a lot of things like that, but you really hadn't you know, the seriousness of the crime with two little kids, I hadn't heard a lot of remorse, or really, I hadn't heard a lot of interest from you in getting out. I mean, you're kind of.
There ain't much for me to look forward to in getting out. After 21 years, my support from the outside has waned to hardly nothing anymore.
Okay. All right. I don't have any other questions.
Okay, so there was another charge that was involved a gun. You didn't mention that one either. With an aggravated assault with a firearm. It was non-pros, but the children said, your victims, that you pulled a gun on them and pulled the trigger, but the safety was on. And you scared them with that. Do you remember that? And so you were charged with the aggravated assault. All of you. Yeah. Well, I agree with Mr. Prater. The damage that you did to two little young boys will last them a lifetime. So if you'd have gotten your if you would have gotten life, it would have been equal to what they got, the memories that you caused in their lives. So now you've gotten a plea bargain of 25 years, and myself personally, I think you need to serve every day of it. And I have a statement from the district attorney, Joseph Wallace from Terrebonne, and he said Comardelle's crimes involved two juveniles and repeated rapes, and he poses a risk to children. So that'll be my reason for denying that you're a public safety menace.
Mr. Prater, are you prepared to vote?
I'm prepared to vote. Okay, my vote today is to deny your parole request, and I wish you well. I hope you get some sense out of there is life after this. Because you're gonna be a miserable soul for the rest of your life if you don't. And so that's my vote for today.
I concur with Mr. Prater.
Mr. Commodel, I vote to deny parole, but I'm really hopeful that you find someone within the facility to mentor you to find something hopeful and contribute there. Thank you so much to Warden and the staff there at Rayburn. We appreciate your time today.
We have one more, I believe. How are you, Swan? Oh, pretty good. Yeah. Yeah.
What is for lunch? It's pretty good. Sometimes I'm a morning person, so I get up and throw coffee in my face and I have a routine, like, not knowing where the house. And which is yeah, they're all 38 minutes. Playing in the boat, come back up, within 35, Lee Road, Choctaw, come out. I went to Franklin. And wow. I didn't know where the story. I'd say it's about 60. But I think that's like the house. second night, needed some things prepared. The guy, I guess the river reached out to the guy. It's like, look, I don't have the money to put more work in that. So I told the river, I said, send me what they're doing. So she sent it, and then I got with, because he was like, shirts and all that stuff. So I showed it to him, I said, man, what are we looking at? He said, man, it's at $200 and a half a day, maybe you could knock it out. Oh my God, so we went over there. That was last Saturday. So I think this Monday, the river calls.
Hey, we're back at Rayburn Correctional Center. Mr. Cupid, I want to introduce the panel to you today. On my left is Ms. Stapleton, to my right is Mr. Prater, and I'm Ms. Ledoux. Why don't you introduce yourself with your DOC number? Mr. Cupid, can you hear me? Just shake your head.
Joseph Cupid, 745064.
Okay, Mr. Cupid, you're before the parole committee today. I introduced us. You heard me introduce, and here's our names. You're before this panel as a second-class offender. You're currently serving a 10-year sentence for molestation of a juvenile and possession of a firearm. You will vote. You have a parole eligibility date, May 24th, 2025, which passed. You have a good time date of August 23rd, 2026, and you have a full term date of 11/23/2029. Does that sound correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, sir, I need to, first of all, ask the warden. Warden, how's Mr. Cupid been within y'all's care?
Okay, he's been at our facility since 3/4/2024. He hasn't had any disciplinary issues while being housed here. He's currently a student in our VOTEC welding program. And I did speak with him yesterday on his plan if he was granted parole, and he said that he would be moving back home to Norwood, Louisiana.
All right. Mr. Cupid, I'm hoping this might be an error in the master prison record. How many children do you have?
Myself, I have 2.
Okay. Okay. It said 11, and that was a lot.
Yes, ma'am.
So why don't you tell us why you're in prison today and what we should consider to determine an early release? Why are you there?
I'm in here because I've done some things that I should not have done with my niece. And I'm extremely regretful for it. And I hope she's doing fine.
Why should we consider early release?
Ma'am,
Why should we consider early release?
I have taken several classes and enrolled in VOTEC to make sure I have a career for whenever I do release.
Okay. Which class did you get the most out of?
Got equal amount of out of all of them. They all taught me something to better myself.
Okay. I noticed you have not completed sex offender treatment. I see 1 and 2. Do they have 3 and 4 there?
They do here where I was at. They had told me that that I had finished it, where I had taken those classes at.
Well, can you tell me if he's only got 1 or 2? Am I?
We're gonna double check.
Okay, because there are 4 phases and I only see 2 listed. Do you remember doing 3 and 4?
No, ma'am, that was back in, I want to say early 21 that I done that. And they had told me at the facility I was at that I completed it.
Okay. So your niece was 10 years old at the time that this occurred?
Yes, ma'am.
Was this the first time that you had done this? When you were sentenced, did you plead down?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So, have you taken any kind of victim classes at all?
I don't have a list.
She has them.
She'll be right back in with the list that she's verifying.
Okay. Do you remember taking anything with victim accountability or understanding the victims or?
I don't remember exactly what all I took.
Okay.
It's been a minute.
Okay. Do my colleagues have any questions while we're waiting on verification?
Well, I've got a question, whether or not you took the class. If you did take the class or didn't take the class, what do you think would be the consequences for this little girl for life because of these actions? That would be victim awareness.
She's gonna have a mental issues and mental health issues for her entire life from something. And
Trust issues because you were her uncle.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Those are the kind of things that the children suffer. It's a funny thing. I mean, with these sexual assaults like this, for the most part, we always tell our children be wary of strangers. But generally, this kind of stuff is from people that they love, close to them, that are trusted individuals. And so, yeah, it does. It affects them their whole entire life. Who can they trust? So I was just wondering if you could, whether or not you had the class, if that's something you had figured out on your own consequences.
I have a list of program completions. I see model Louisiana Risk Phase 1 and Phase 2. You have had the victim letter writing and you've had victim awareness and restitution. So that's good. I think that I'm prepared to vote. Mr. Cupid, I want you to finish sex offender treatment. Doesn't sound like you remembered too much from the first. You said it's been a minute. So my vote today is to deny. I need you to finish that sex offender treatment class. I want you to start considering what you're going to do to where you need to go to stay away from your victim too. So you need to be thinking about a residence plan that's not near your victim. Okay. Mr. Prater?
I concur with that. My vote is to deny your request because of the seriousness of the crime. And according to what I was reading here, I believe it was a plea bargain. That's what the DA said. So you need to get that straight in your mind too, the seriousness of the crime and the fact that it was a plea bargain to begin with. And my vote is to deny his parole.
It's the
I concur with both of my colleagues for the very same reasons.
Thank you, staff, for helping. It was correct. He's only had phases 1 and 2. Y'all have 3 and 4 there.
We don't have a record of 3 and 4. The last record we show is that he refused on 3/5/24, but she believes it's because he believes he finished it somewhere else. So he needs to look into that.
And you offered the right?
I'm in records, but I asked the mental health department, and that came from them.
Okay, but y'all do offer that program, 3 and 4, folks, 3 and 4.
Yes, ma'am, we do.
That's great. Okay, so today it's 11:43, sir. Your parole has been denied. That concludes our business there, and thank you so much. We appreciate it. That also concludes the business before the panel today. Thank you.
Yeah, I was done. Is that okay?